the Game Awards, showing off some of the best and most exciting new releases and giving some awards to some old ones. But we got some release dates, starting with one of the most anticipated / dreaded. Well, it was going to happen at some point. We were actually going to get a release date for Skull and Bones, and as you can see, February the 16th, it is coming. Now, this is an interesting occurrence because, don't get me wrong, I am all for releasing new games, especially ones set in history. We'll come on to that in a little bit, don't you worry. But Skull and Bones has been in the works for years now. First being announced in 2017, over 6 years ago. It is insane the timeline that this title has had. Of course, with numerous amounts of delays and things coming out that aren't exactly the most reassuring to its fan base, it seems like Ubisoft have finally put it in a place where they actually want to bring it out to the public. And by this trailer, well, I think it's revealing quite a lot about what's on its way. My first recommendation, by the way, as someone who's experienced in the whole YouTube thing, where it says February 16th, 2024, it's got a little bit of words underneath it that sounds like an absolute trap. I would ignore that. Please do not pre-order this goddamn game. But after all the shenanigans, Skull and Bones release date is finally on its way. It is going to be coming to PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S, and if you pre-order the Premium Edition, you'll get the game 3 days ahead of everybody else. As much as I joke about it, I'm not entirely against Skull and Bones coming out. I've made countless videos on this title at this point in time, mostly because it was something that I really wanted, but it never really reached the appeal that I think most people expected from it. You see, Skull and Bones was supposed to be a standalone version of Black Flag. It kind of went away from that, and Ubisoft have made it very clear that's not what this is. But as time went on, it became less of a Sea of Thieves, and is now definitely more just an arcadey pirate ship game. On that note, it looks like they have made some improvements. Okay, we still have some of the horrific mortars, the machine gun firing, firework guns that we saw in some of the last gameplay and trailers. That's still going to be coming, but 3-player co-op, that is a nice touch, something that I will be definitely looking forward to. The development, though, has been worked on since 2013, and I don't think there's actually been a game that I've been less confident that's about to come out. Okay, except from the day before, but now that's actually released, I think we can leave that one to the side. Skull and Bones has just been through development hell, mostly down to the fact that it's been under the wing of a lot of different companies. Not just that, but also governments handing in potentially extra funding for the title, meaning that it didn't matter how much of a disaster this development went, they had to get it out at some point. And then, I guess you could say, with some committed optimism, we got some sort of early access and some beta testing that came through last year. With that came a lot of mixed reviews. The gameplay that came out looked pretty bad. It looked like they'd lent so hard into this arcadey nature, but the people playing it seemed to enjoy it. Whether that was just because they got the chance to play a Ubisoft game early, I don't know. However, everything I saw looked like the opposite of the title that I think most players wanted. But it is coming, so we will get to try it out. And not only that, but it will also come between another closed beta between December 15th and December 18th. Something that I guess we're going to see a lot more gameplay coming out. So in the months leading up, it's going to be an interesting one to see where this goes. But that wasn't the only thing that's happened at the Game Awards. No. We've had plenty more to get our hands on. And the one that I'm most looking forward to is Space Marine 2. In September the 9th, 2024, we'll be getting this title. Space Marine is one of the most hyped games that I've ever seen. I mean, look at how gorgeous this thing is. Titus, you are a beautiful man. Now, it's not voiced by Mark Strong anymore, which is somewhat unfortunate. Yeah, you know, your boy from Vikings is taking his place, and my god, this game looks gorgeous. It was one of the most awaited sequels since the initial title came out in 2011 and was so successful as this third-person look into the Warhammer 40k universe. And how could they ever live up to it? Well, it actually looks like Saber Interactive in this case have managed to pull it off. They had a fantastic story in the first one and some really solid character work, and I just hope that that's been brought forward into this game. Because we can all look at these visuals and think, okay, this looks incredible. But when it actually comes down to the meat and potatoes of the gameplay and everything that comes with it, that's when the real test comes in.
Leave not one of them standing!
Of course, you'll be playing alongside other Space Marines. I'm hoping in some sort of co-op fashion. I'm assuming in this case these guys are AI, but it would be strange to me if they didn't take advantage of the way that gaming is going in this co-op era that we're finally getting back. Fighting against these tyrannies with all different sizes, everything from your little itty-bitty ones that can be shot down with your bolt gun to these big lads who definitely need to go into these full execution moves, slicing and dicing, and of course, kicking in their heads. Something that I really love are these horde mechanics. We kind of got it in the first Space Marine, but it wasn't quite as evolved just because of the technology at the time. But coming in and facing these guys like something out of Starship Troopers is to be adored.
Tyranids will be lying in wait. Very good.
Swarm originated. These abhorrent husks are everywhere. Living, organic machines.
Indeed. Their ships, these pods.
The level design has been taken up a notch as well, something that also came with the new technology that we're getting now. Sound design is gorgeous, as you'd expect, and everything involved within this title just seems to be taking up another level, whether it is the bigger hordes, the bigger enemies, or of course, hopefully, bigger maps. It does look like they're still going down this linear route of kind of funneling you through different missions, which is fine. We're not going for every title being an open world here, but I really hope that each mission does have enough depth and variety to keep you interested. But it does look like that's what they're doing. If you guys want to know more about Space Marine 2 and see some more information, go and check out my second channel, Resonant FPS, where you can find multiple videos sifting through all this extended gameplay.
I've dreamt of this. This place of fear and fury. Do you hear it? The heartbeat of the lost ones. I can feel them on my skin.
You thought we were done? Not even close. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 is on its way. And this is a game that I think was slept on hugely in some of the last awards. They had some of this beautiful cinematic trailers and of course the live action one that came out, but it is a title unlike no other. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice was a game that I kind of came across later into its lifespan, but it's this weird, trippy, immersive, almost LSD-infused title set within this Viking land of gods, fire, and of course the dark thoughts within your heads that you have to battle more than anybody. It is satisfying, it is gorgeous, the combat is brutal, and it is a story that you fully get immersed in. This is almost the niche version of a God of War type game, but with all these extra little tidbits and being the perfect AA experience. If you want to be immersed within a game, there is nothing like Hellblade. As much as it can be compared to other things, I have never found anything that's ever come close to it. Just because of the style that they've gone for, fighting in these arenas and moving between them with the horrific demons that come out of the shadows. And of course, playing this is a completely new experience. But this next game, well, coming in 2024, is something that I'm definitely looking out for. And by the way, there was some more Age of Empires stuff. If I'm going to be honest, it wasn't that interesting. It's the anniversary edition, but there was no new content. Thanks, guys.